Most people think the hard part is saving for retirement. But what really trips people up is figuring out how to take income from multiple sources without causing a tax mess. You've got a pension, Social Security, maybe a traditional IRA or Roth IRA on top of that. Each one has different rules, different tax treatment, and different timing. And when you combine them in the wrong way, you could end up in a higher tax bracket, trigger Medicare surcharges, and shrink the income that you were counting on, even if you did everything right while saving. Hi, I'm Mark Wisniewski, the president of Southern Incomes. I help retirees turn savings into reliable tax-smart income and protect their legacy that they built. If you find this helpful, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next video. Today, I'm going to show you how to coordinate your pension, Social Security, and IRAs into a retirement income plan that actually works without the nasty tax surprises most people get blindsided by. Let's walk through how you use the right income source at the right time so you can retire with more clarity, more confidence, and more control. Part 1, why combining income sources requires a plan. Most people think of retirement income like a light switch. You hit retirement age and everything flips on and you start drawing from all your sources. But that approach can backfire really fast because different income sources are taxed in different ways. Pension income is usually fully taxable. Social Security can be tax-free or taxed up to 85% depending on how your other income turns out. IRA withdrawals, they're taxed as ordinary income. Roth IRA withdrawals, on the other hand, are tax-free, but only if used correctly. And here's the kicker. Your modified adjusted gross income, or MAGI, doesn't just affect your taxes. It can also trigger IRMAA penalties, raising your Medicare Part B and Part D premiums by thousands of dollars each year. So, if you don't coordinate these sources carefully, you can end up in a higher tax bracket than the one when you were working. Part 2, start with the fixed income layer, pension and Social Security. The first thing to do is define your guaranteed income sources, pension payments, Social Security checks, any annuities or defined benefit income. These are usually fixed and predictable. Most retirees start taking their pension right away, but with Social Security, the timing is more flexible, and that's where strategy comes in. For example, if your pension already covers most of your living expenses, you might consider delaying your Social Security all the way out to age 70. That increases your benefit up to 8% per year after your full retirement age, and it gives you more room to make IRA withdrawals in the lower tax brackets while you're waiting. But if you need the cash flow or you have health concerns, claiming Social Security earlier can still be the right move. The key is understanding how your fixed income interacts with all your other assets. Part 3, fill the gaps with IRA and Roth withdrawals. Once you know what your pension and Social Security will cover, the next step is to fill in any income gaps using your other investment accounts. Here's how to think about it. Traditional IRAs and 401ks. Use this while you're still in lower tax brackets, especially before RMDs kick in at age 73. Many high net worth retirees intentionally draw down their IRAs between retirement and age 73 to reduce their future tax spikes. Roth IRAs, because it's tax-free, this is your most flexible source. You might save it for later years, use it to avoid Medicare surcharges, or tap into it in a year when your income is extraordinarily high. This sequence is sometimes called the retirement withdrawal hierarchy, and it can save you thousands. It could save you tens of thousands in taxes over a lifetime. You're not just withdrawing money randomly, you're pulling from the right account at the right time in the right amount. Part 4, watch for the Social Security, tax torpedo, and IRMAA. Here's where coordination becomes crucial. If you take IRA withdrawals after turning on Social Security, you might trigger what's called the tax torpedo. That's when each additional dollar that you withdraw makes more of your Social Security taxable, causing your marginal tax rate to spike. So, in some cases, it's smarter to draw from your IRA before starting your Social Security. Same goes for IRMAA, medical surcharges. In 2025, if your income is above $103,000 a year for single filers or $206,000 a year for joint filers, you'll pay higher premiums for Medicare Part B and D. So even if you can afford to take more income, you might want to stay under those IRMAA thresholds to avoid penalties. As you start to see, it's not how much income you can earn, it is how you structure your income so that what you report using all these tools available to you allows you to control and maybe reduce what you do report in income. Again, this comes down to timing and coordination. This is not about how much do I have. It is about how do I use what I have in the most efficient way. Part 5, a real-world example, coordinated retirement income in action. Let me show you how all of this comes together in a real-life example. A client of mine, we'll call him Jim, retired at age 62. Here's what his retirement picture looked like. He had a $3,000 a month pension, which started immediately. He had about $500,000 in a traditional IRA, and another $100,000 in a Roth IRA, and he had eligibility for Social Security, which he could claim as early as 62, but it would be larger if he waited. Now, Jim's instinct was to turn everything on right away. Pensions, Social Security, IRA, and the IRA withdrawals to cover the rest. But when we ran the numbers, that approach would have locked him into smaller Social Security checks for life, created higher taxable income early on, and pushed him close to IRMAA thresholds for Medicare premiums as early as his late 60s. And all of this would have eventually forced him to take large required minimum distributions from his IRA at age 73. So instead, we built a coordinated income plan that looks something like this. Step 1, use that pension as the base. Jim's $3,000 a month pension covered a good chunk of his core expenses, and that's what gave us flexibility. So step 2, delay Social Security to age 70. By waiting, his benefit would increase by roughly 8% per year after full retirement age. That meant a much stronger guaranteed income base in his 70s, and it was going to become helpful if he lived a long life or if inflation picked up. And if anyone thinks federal spending is going away to help control inflation, please let me know. Step 3, withdraw from IRA strategically in the gap years from 62 until 70. We use modest IRA withdrawals to fill those income gaps, keeping them in the 12 to 22% tax bracket and preventing a big tax hit later on. Step 4, do partial Roth conversions. Each year, we converted a slice of his traditional IRA to Roth within those lower tax brackets. This reduced his future RMDs and it gave him a growing pool of tax-free money to pull from down the line. Step 5, use the Roth for flexibility later on. In the years where his income spiked or unexpected expenses came up, the Roth gave us a tax-free outlet, no impact on Magi, no surprise taxes. By age 73, his traditional IRA was smaller, his RMDs were manageable, and his overall tax picture was far more efficient than if he had just turned everything on all at once at age 62. What does this mean in dollars? We estimated the strategy would save him over $85,000 in taxes over his lifetime while keeping his Medicare premiums low and preserving more of his Social Security benefit, as we already talked about. And more importantly, Jim just felt in control of his retirement instead of just trying to react every time the rules changed. Here's the big takeaway. Retirement income isn't just about how much you've saved. It is about how you use what you've saved. You've got these different income streams: pensions, Social Security, IRA, Roths, or maybe rental income or another annuity. But if they're not working together, you're leaving money on the table. And that usually shows up in the form of higher than expected tax bills, unnecessary Medicare surcharges, and retirement income that is not going to stretch as far as it could have otherwise. The good news: you don't need a perfect plan. You just need a plan. If you want help building a retirement income plan that coordinates all your sources and helps you reduce taxes, protect your lifestyle, and preserve your legacy, book a call with me using the link in the description. We'll walk through your pensions, Social Security, IRAs, and more, and help you align everything into one simple, sustainable strategy. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.